One of the reasons I found myself writing was because I knew that women's voices were, they were hushed or misconstrued, and oftentimes I didn't even see my reality in the books that I was reading. So I'm excited to see, 10 years in the writing game, and I'm even more excited to continue writing, diverse and authentic stories for women and the men that love them. Hi, I'm Nicole Williams, and I am the author of Tangled Web of True Love Tales. To celebrate the 10-year anniversary edition, I will be talking to some amazing professionals in their respective fields with the goal to get untangled. We will be discussing topics displayed in this fiction book and applying them to life. Conversation is key. And today I am excited about who is joining me.
We are back, and we are celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Tangled Web of True Love Tales. And if you were listening to us earlier, I was just sharing how excited I was to work with. Now, first I want to say how I know Alisha. I reached out to Alisha because we've known each other for years. We were actually at the same high school. We were on the same dance team, and believe it or not, she was my little sister. And I still, even though we're grown, I'm like, this is still my little sister. So I was so happy that when I looked at who could I reach out to for a project that's so dear to my heart, who would be able to capture, because I wasn't sure either about how to go about, illustrating my 7 characters, and she was able to do that effortlessly. So we're going to talk about that process, because I've always admired people that can not only be artistic with, not necessarily paint or illustrations, but being able to capture an energy. What exactly was your process with getting this done? How did you go about this project?
You came to me first and asked me if I could do it. I said yes. But honestly, I hadn't done a commissioned illustration before. And so we met, you gave me the details of each character and what you thought you wanted it to be. So I took the details and just imagined.
Was your creative thinking when she described it? How could you make a picture? I mean, draw a picture.
Well, let me start by saying Nicole is very thorough. So she sent me this spreadsheet of every single detail of each person, and so I read the details, their personalities, their outfits, what type of hair, just their connections, just all kind of details that she sent me. She sent me pictures of ideas of what she thought they should look like, their physique. I mean, she was very detailed. And so from there, I just, would sketch up some items. Okay, this is what I'm getting from this detail about Dion. Okay, let me sketch up some stuff, and then I would send it to Nicole and say, hey, this is what I have so far. We would work together in that area and say, okay, well, I like that, but I was thinking more longer hair or shorter hair for her, so there were some changes throughout the process, but mostly just from communicating with Nicole, just taking my creativity and going into my creative mind and saying, okay, this is what she described, let me see if I can go. And really, we worked really well together. So then it goes from paper to my iPad or whatever tablet or whatever I'm using. From there, then it goes to the sketching on the digital sketching. So it goes from paper to digital, and then after the digital, it goes, well, of course, I send you sketches and see, well, is there anything you want to change? I see it this way, do you see it the same way? So it's a lot of communicating between the both of us to make sure we're on the same page. And
when I look at each character, I can even see their personalities through their body language. And I thought it was funny that even Kyla has her kind of hands crossed over her, and if you've read the book, she's dealing with some stuff in that area. And I'm like, this is interesting, even some stuff that wasn't really stated, even with details that were stated, it's just still, like even Nadia's picture, look at how serious she looks. Yeah. She's a beautiful person, but yet you can tell she has some stuff on her mind. Yeah. And then you have this Autumn embracing her new journey that she's in. She's full force. She's stepping into a new lane. So I can just see even like, you know, just shared through art. So let's talk about that. We'll get back into the book, but let's talk about you as an artist. You said that you started off so early on. What was that like though? What was your first experience with painting or drawing? How did you get into that?
Well, you know, my older sister used to like to draw and do crafts and stuff like that, so I kind of picked it up a little bit from her, and I just loved the feel of drawing on paper, the pencil to paper feeling. I can remember at a young age just loving the way that felt, even with crayons, you know, just the way that it felt just brought something out. But just going from there, and you know, when I was younger, a lot of people didn't know that I was an artist. Now, I do remember in middle school one time, I did have a sketchbook that somebody found, and it got all around the school, and everybody was just amazed at what they saw, but I never really opened up a lot about my art, you know, so a lot of people were really shocked because I just had my own private, I guess you call it, notebook or cases of art that I just didn't really think about to even share, you know, just personal. So once it did kind of, somebody encouraged me, the more people that saw it as I got older, they were just encouraging me to just kind of, you know, open up a little bit about that. And so I was like, I guess I can, you know, kind of nervous at the same time. But so from there, after I started kind of showcasing my work and noticing the impact that it would have on different people, you know, just seeing people's reactions and the way that it makes some people feel, just different paintings, and it really, I said, okay, well, maybe it is something that needs to be shared more, you know? So that's kind of where it went from there.
How important is creativity? What is it for you? You said that you were more personal about it earlier, so what does it serve as now?
Creativity is in many different forms, you know. I can honestly say the past month I haven't picked up a paintbrush. I haven't drawn anything, you know, because I've been just busy with life, but finding other ways to be creative with cooking, you know, you can be creative in that area. So I think creativity when it comes to artwork is a great expression. It's a great way to express how you feel and hopefully touch somebody else with it. And even when I walked in and she's showing me a picture of the film and the actual people who played the role, and I'm like, they look like the character. I had never seen the film, the actual physical film, and I was like, okay, that's kind of pretty.
I'm like, I just assumed that maybe she saw it on she had not seen it.
So today was my first time seeing it. I'm like, okay, I could tell just from who was who. Yeah. So I think it was mostly the connection that we were having and just being able to tweak it to however she saw changes that needed to be to what she liked. You know.
So I'm really excited about this work of art, and I truly appreciate your hand in just creating a visual representation of them.
For yourself. So I think creativity is very important as far as letting things out, and it helps you to get things out sometimes that you can't even say verbally, you know. So just being creative is very important to me.
I think there's a common thread there, because I know when I was writing as a kid, I had no intention on letting anybody read what I was writing, and I think that's funny to hear you say that as well. Like, this was just something that you were doing for yourself or whoever. Like, you know, to me, I always say it's, to me, sometimes a connection to God. It's me trying to process whatever it is, the world around me. But I remember specifically never thinking to write for an audience, ever. And it was just, it baffled me when I started thinking about, oh yeah, this is a job? I just didn't, you know, so I think that's funny to hear someone else say, oh, this was just something I was doing, and it was in my notebook, and somehow it got out. So thankfully it got out. So let's talk about, with this project, which character, is it a favorite that you had as far as designing? Was one easier than the other?
Let me see. I loved creating Autumn, I have to say. She was one of the first ones I did, I believe. Well, I kind of was doing multiple ones at the same time, but something about Autumn, her being natural, and you know, the way that you described her as more free and just opened, I was like, okay, that's gonna be fun. I did like doing Dion too, because with Dion, I do a lot of my artwork, I do a lot of natural hairstyles, big hairstyles, you know, so it was fun creating this more sleek look, you know, even a different skin tone, you know, was different, because I tend to do not dark or darker, but not as light, you know, not for any particular reason. It's just tend to do that. So Dion was definitely one of the more challenging ones, I would say, and probably Dr. Lynn. But yeah, and I loved creating Sheila with the vibrant colors, and when you said she was a hairstylist, I'm like, oh yeah, she kind of reminds me of my sister, because my sister is a hairstylist, so she's kind of cool from there. But it was, all of them were really really different, so it was fun creating different characters doing that way.
Well, I know when I saw it, I was like, she gets me, she understands, like a tear. I was so happy. I'm so excited about the project, and we want you to know that we are so glad that you took the time to listen to the behind the scenes side of it. I want to thank Alisha once again. I also want you guys to know that if you stay tuned, you can find out how to keep in touch with both of us, and then also how to get your copy of Tangled Web of True Love Tales 10-year anniversary.